It's one step above Shane's job where he works from home.
Yeah.
I liked when Shane said he was late. All he had to do was roll out of bed into the next room, and he was late. How are you late?
For work.
Late. I love it.
Drag your laptop into your bed. Now you're not late for work anymore.
Yeah.
Can't believe that.
Oh, the Chiefs just scored again. That's it for the Steelers. Welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm coming to you from a remote location tonight, and I'm here with the boys, John, Brandon, Christopher, and Charles. Another episode on a Sunday night of collecting vintage Star Wars figures. Guys, how's it going? I'm gonna throw it over to Charles. He's got some topics for us tonight. He's done some research. He's well versed in what we're going to speak about. Charles, what is going on this Sunday night? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Shane? How you doing? So before we get into all of that, this has to be one of the greatest episodes we've had. Chris is driving to work in his car. John possibly has COVID. Shane's on vacation. And Brandon is in his normal location, not looking at the screen.
With beautiful, beautiful hair.
How's your vacation going?
Good. I'm down in Charleston, South Carolina, just to get away for the weekend, and we wanted to check out, an area that we've never seen before. And it's, listen, the weather is a lot nicer than up by New Jersey, New York, so it's in the 50s and 60s. And we went to a brewery and checked out some cool restaurants downtown. Very cool area, so we're having a good time. We're here till tomorrow.
Nice.
You guys are getting some snow up there right now.
I believe we are. I haven't actually looked outside yet, but if we move it over to Chris, he can tell us the weather update.
I can actually show you the weather right now. We're driving through a wintry storm over here.
Oh my God.
While I'm live on a podcast while driving on the Parkway. Really smart, actually.
Let's throw it over to Sam Champion. He's got the latest weather forecasts. It's white. It's white outside.
Well, this just goes to show you the pure dedication the five of us have to putting on our weekly episode.
Yeah. We're really pulling it together at the last minute here as best we can. Brandon, you had a mini tsunami yesterday. You were at the beach with your floaties. What's the latest weather by you? It's got to be better than the rest of us.
Yeah, it's 85 a couple days ago, and the 70s the last couple days. Had a little bit of wet weather yesterday. I don't know what to call it, but mist or rain. I don't know what they call it around here, but yeah, it was pretty good. Had a good time with it.
Nice. All right, boys. So John's here as well. He's hanging on for dear life. I hope John, I hope you are feeling better the next couple days. I had my spell a couple weeks ago, and I was telling you guys it was pretty brutal. So feel better soon.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and we're dealing with a bit of the wintry weather here too in Georgia. Not so bad though. We had some snow today, but it's been wet all day today. And it started raining yesterday and has not stopped, with the exception of snow here and there. But yeah, feeling quite a bit under the weather. Slept a lot the past 2 days, but hopefully it's not the big C COVID that is. And I'm going to try to go to a clinic or something tomorrow to find out, get one of those rapid tests, see if I can get another 5 days off work.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Can we talk about the price of the recent Boba Fett craze? Because it's starting to just get crazy with the amount that these prices are going for.
Yeah, and I'll just interject real quick. Across the board, I'm sure you guys are going to agree with me. Just taking a look at eBay for anything in the last couple of weeks, it's like it's like a gold rush. The prices for anything Star Wars listed is insane right now, let alone Boba Fett. I mean, Boba Fett's on eBay I mean, ridiculous, but
Yeah,
it's like a gold rush now.
Yep.
You have to really, really look, I mean, deep into the toy stuff in order to find any decent prices. I did buy an EV99 the other day. Thought that was a pretty good price, so I jumped on it. And it looked complete, and it looked like her arm was intact and all that stuff. So we'll see once we get her in. But I thought that was a great price for that. So probably
You know, the reason for it has to be the taxes. The new tax law. They're just raising the prices up. Stuff is going for like ridiculous prices on eBay, like absolutely ridiculous prices.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not really after something right now, it is not a time to buy. It is not a time to be looking for lots or collections on some of these online sites. And in the groups, the groups are a little bit more fair than the wild west of the rest of the internet, because collector to collector, we kind of know what we're doing. But man, it's not a time to be buying big right now, just because things are so high.
Yeah, one thing you should be looking for, and if you want one, short Vs. People are giving them away. They like totally crashed in price. Everybody's selling them now. That's how many there are. Everybody has one. Everyone's selling them.
I don't know about crashed in price. I saw one today sell for $150. So
yeah, Charles is wishing this thing into oblivion right now, but it is stronger than it has ever been in the last 2-3 weeks.
Everyone seems like they're selling one, though. Like they're all over the place for sale.
Oh, man.
Something
I thought they were supposed to be like rare or something.
Well, yeah, this is actually really rare. Are you kidding me? Everyone wants one. It's the most talked about thing. No one has them. You can't find them anywhere.
That doesn't mean it's rare. That doesn't mean it's rare.
Guys, the V's are short. The antennas are pointy. The rubber antennas are stiff and firm. The lines are thick. I mean, this is a figure that everybody wants.
Hey, remember, look, Boba's not rare, and everybody wants Boba.
Would you rather have a short V or a longer V? I mean, I'd rather have a longer V. I don't want a short one.
I want a fat.
Good. Now you just have the one that everybody else has. Not special at all.
I want a fat V.
Girthy V.
All right. Well, Brandon is going to keep looking for his fat V.
I'm still
looking for his place of business.
Yeah. I'm looking for a Vampire Bespin Luke.
What's
I
that?
think I may have one. I'll have to get you to check it out, though, Sean.
Oh, a vampire?
Yeah.
The Vampire Bespin.
What's that?
I love when Shane just makes up his own variants on his sales. It's the best.
Well, that's not true. I don't know if you were watching, but I did not make that up. There was somebody in the sale who really liked it and was trying to be funny and call it a Vampire Luke because it was a pale face mold or whatever. But
my favorite is the light limbs Boba Fett, also known as the degraded plastic Boba Fett.
Faded Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on villain, what is it? Variant villain. There's a whole page practically dedicated to the light limbs Boba. So there are people out there that call it that because they have some reference there. I don't know.
I understand some people wanting to collect it, but to actually say it's a legitimate variant, I find it mind-boggling. It's been over 40 years. Why can't people just give up the fact that nothing new is coming out? So stop finding things and making it up.
We've had more new vintage Star Wars in the last 4 weeks than we have in the previous 10 years combined.
Like seriously, why can't we just stick with what we have? Why do people need to find these new weird things and then it gets hot for a few weeks and then it just dies?
Well, can I make a prediction? And I think you guys are going to be familiar with this. My prediction, I think the short V is going to have a nice run here. Not going away anytime soon, but coming up following that, Painted Legs Maydeen. It's gonna be big.
No, I already have the next one. I've been collecting them. 16 face B-wing.
That's right.
I want every face.
Facial expression.
Now we need a reference though. We need to know which one is number 7 and which one is number 14. We've got to be able to tell them apart. Where can we find this information? Is it in the Lily Letty factory video?
Well,
like, how do we?
I guess I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of chart or something. You know, everybody else is coming up with their own stuff, so I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of chart. And,
Yeah.
Hey, Molded Legs Han should be $200 now.
It should. I cannot find one. I mean, I'm just keeping my eyes open, but I don't have one, and man, I can't find one.
They're very hard to find. I don't like the expression rare.
I mean, and I'm not even being, facetious when I say that. Molded Legs Han has been pretty hard to find.
I totally agree, and I think the Painted Legs A New Hope Han should be a little bit more than $65. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I sold.
I have
$5 recently.
I have a Molded Legs Han Hoth that I can't even sell for $100.
I was at a toy show in, it was going back a while now, like May or so, June. I got 2 hollow cheek Tuscans, and I had at that point I hadn't really seen many in person. I got 2 of them there from a seller, and I got a couple of other, I forget exactly a couple other harder to find figures. He had like 4 Molten Leg Han Hoths. And I just wasn't familiar with that at the time. And he was like, yeah, I've got these. And they were $80 a piece or so, $75, $80 a piece. And I just like blew it off because I just wasn't familiar. And I've never seen one since. They're probably selling for twice that now. I don't know.
$80 a piece, yeah. That's
I would have bought them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it's one of those things where I wish I did, I just didn't know. I just wasn't thinking of it at the time.
Not to
be honest,
but I have a very important thing to say. Chris Lawrence sent me the video of the old hags grabbing the figures from the bins, and I have seen the video. I have to apologize to Chris. He was right. There is a video out there, and I just wanted to say sorry to him.
wow, that was actually very nice from to hear that from my brother. But I knew I wasn't crazy and imagining this video. I knew it was real, but I just couldn't find it again.
Folks, this is breaking news. We're going to need some sort of a sound effect and a scroll across the screen.
Once I saw this video, you don't know how happy I was. My smile was so big, but deep down, I'm like, Chris was right. I'm going to have to tell him that he was right in the end, but he didn't send me the video though. I actually got it from one of our subscribers.
All right, so we're gonna break to the video right now. Let's just lay this in here, and just to fill in all of our viewers and our followers who have heard us talk about this a bunch of times. It is not the Lily Letty factory video. We did find a couple of photos from there, black and white photos of similar setups in the factory, but it's actually from the Palitoy factory in the UK. Same, sort of manufacturing process. So it's really interesting to see, these workers in the painting stage, putting these figures together and painting the pieces.
Chris said it was a bin of Darth Vader's. He was close. It was Zuckas's. So they did look like Darth Vader's, but the video clearly shows ladies just mocking these things up and they're just grabbing them out of a bin.
Well, then you got the wrong video because they were Darth Vader's, if I remember correctly. So there's more than one video.
All right. Well, so the search continues. I think the black and white photo from the Letty factory, though, that might have been Darth Vader's too. But the example that they show, in the footage is one of the lesser, crimes, against paint rubs and whatnot, because the Zuckus, gets the paint rubs on the eyes, but there's not a lot of paint on that figure. It's molded, but there's some other figures, the Bobas and, some of the painted Hans and stuff. If they throw them in a pile or dump them out of a box into a bin the same way, it's Rub City.
This just goes to show you back, like what we always say, people automatically think that once a figure is on a mock, it should automatically be, a high grade, a perfect figure. If you see how these figures were placed and thrown in a bucket and just slapped against one another, this is why the figures came out the way they did. So, not all of them were perfect.
Yeah, and we also discovered this past week. We discovered, it's not our discovery, but I came across, I guess, a seminar or a speak that he did at one of the Star Wars celebrations, and they showed a lot of still images that they pulled from some sort of archives of inside the Palatoy factories, inside some of the factories, and it was very cool. Maybe we can show a couple of these photos. It was very cool to see this setup on how they step through the process of taking these pieces of the figures, painting them, putting them together. And there was one tray, that I got excited about was the Leia Bosch heads all lined up, but they were perfectly painted. But by the time they make it into the mocks, we've seen mocks where the hair is rubbed right above the brow, like it's already rubbed off just from the handling in the factory.
Yep.
So they're not perfect.
Sorry, you were talking about Leia Bush's hair, and I'm staring at Brandon's perm press right now, and it's just very reminiscent of it.
You were mesmerized. You were like kind of just staring off into space. I saw you.
Raul messaged me, and he wanted to fly down for the weekend, so I flew him down so he can enjoy some of the warm weather, and he gave me a haircut today.
He looks like a middle-aged Cary Grant.
All right, so we had a big find with the video. We've been talking about it for a couple of months now. We finally got our hands on some proof of the process in the factories. What else is going on this week, guys, in the collecting world? Are there any modern figures coming out that you guys are excited about? I know there is some stuff coming down the pipe. What else is hot and vintage? What else do we want to hit tonight?
Maybe some of the modern. Do you want to swing it over to Brandon? He had some stuff about the modern figures.
I'll throw in one thing real quick before Brandon chimes in. I got it. I was so annoyed. I'm away for the weekend. I got an email today from Target. I ordered those droids, Boba Fett droid figures, and there was some sort of fraudulent activity on my credit card, and they had to send me a new credit card number. They tried to charge the card in a matter of like the 2 or 3 days that my card is not active, and they canceled my order. So I lost out on the Boba Fetts.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
So I guess it makes me think that, I know some of you guys ordered them as well. It makes me think that they're sending them out right now because they tried to charge. So,
well, Shane, if you need one, I'll have one for sale on Rogue 5 Toys if you want to buy one.
Very good. Nice.
Mine.
I'll trade you by C-3PO. I'm sure you really need that one. But yeah, for anybody else who ordered the droids Boba Fett, it sounds like Target is shipping those out, so that'll be fun for everybody.
They're already all over eBay.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. People have them for $60. I feel bad for the suckers that paid over $100 for them just a few weeks ago.
Well, and that's what I've said before. If it's hard with Boba Fett. He's kind of the one that you don't want to miss early on. But if there's a new figure, a modern figure that's coming out that you want, you don't need to pay, 6 times for it, 4 times for it. They're going to be around. There's going to be a rush initially, and then, you can at least get it for double. You get it for $30 or $40, right?
It's what's going on right now everywhere. Like, I've had a lot of people reaching out to me about wanting to buy stuff and like asking me, hey, is this price good? Is that price good? And I just keep telling everyone to be patient because the prices are so high right now. Like, who wants to spend $1,400 on a loose Boba Fett? Like, come on, like that's just absurd.
And they'll correct themselves.
But even tonight, there's one on eBay that's ending. It was $750 when I last looked because it has a dark green chest. It's labeled as a dark. Who cares? And I specifically told them, I'm like, just relax. I'm like, you'll get it in a few months for cheaper. You don't need to spend that much money.
Yeah, some people, and it's also, for Boba Fett collectors, it's the same thing we were kind of talking about earlier in the episode. People feel they have a variant or a slight difference. Like somebody's sitting there, it, and going, I got to have the Kelly green chest. I got to have the emerald chest. I've got to have the puce chest. And they're ordering, multiple of a figure because they feel it's a variant or it's something else for their collection. And there's some people that just don't care that it's high now. They just want it.
No one has cared 40 years. and all of a sudden they just find these variants. Just like half of them are like made up. Like, who gives a crap if the power droid has a longer or shorter V? Like, who really cares? Like,
Charles has been messaging us every day. He is consumed with the short V craze. He can't get any work done. His wife hasn't spoken to him. He's only talking short V.
I'm actually second to my brother, who is the lead hater of the short V revolution. I am just his psychic.
So you guys have finally gotten on the same page about something because you're opposites on Book of Boba Fett.
I have a question for you. So now this is to John and Shane, the biggest short V promoters there are. So blue snaggletooth, dent or no dent, is that a variant?
It's seen as a variant. I mean, it is recognized as a variant. If you get it graded, it'll say toe dent or no dent.
That's true. Yeah, and that, if that's the barometer you're using.
Yes.
The green vest variant.
I'm still doing my follow-up question, Brandon. Come on. So, do you know why there's a toe dent and a no toe dent?
Not because the mold was different, but because there was like a barb or something in the mold for so many hundreds of figures that were pressed.
That is 100% correct. So for people to even say that that's a variant is the most dumbest thing in the world, because a piece of plastic got stuck on the mold press.
But the short V is a completely different mold. It's not a dent. It's not a little scratch in the paint application. It is a completely different
of the mold. Off of the IC. Who cares about a short V? What other Facebook site or page or eBay or in real life world walking into a toy store cares about a short V?
It's spreading like wildfire, let's be honest.
Are you kidding me? Because there's also people are using like on
Shane
eBay.
just fell off his own chair. He actually made himself laugh that much that he just fell.
There's a chance that my wife is going to murder me in my sleep tonight.
On eBay, they're now recognizing variant villains labels for versions of weapons. People are in the descriptions.
Well, then we're in lots of trouble then.
So it is.
No, those aren't normal eBay sellers. Those are the people that are on these groups that are selling that crap. That's not Grandma, Jane that found her husband's collection and now she's selling them, going on Variant Villain, saying, "Oh, look, this is an M65348, blaster." No,
from the Rainbow Factory.
These are people we know that are selling these things, and they put that crap on there. And then you got a bunch of other people. Like, if I didn't know what that was, I'd be like sitting there like, "What is that?" If I'm a casual,
go to Variant Villain.
If I'm a casual eBay collector.
The page is like very slow. Like, I click on something, it takes like seconds for it to even change. They need to put a few dollars into the site. Like,
well, let me ask you guys
done on that. You can at least just make it flow like a little bit better. There's a lot of good information on there, and I use it myself too. It needs to you need a little more money into it, I think.
I actually use it every once in a while. It has so much information. Stuff that I never even thought. So, like, for me, it's been really, really helpful. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I was like an Imperial gunnery, guy for the weapons and stuff. But I have been over there a lot because they do go into detail about the differences between the COOs and the figures. I know it's still a work in progress, but it's headed in the right direction for sure. There's a lot of info there. It is a helpful reference.
Yeah. They have a lot of information. They just need, faster hamsters around the wheels to actually move the website a little bit. It's very clunky and very slow.
Yeah. Actually, I love the website. The speed on there is you must have really bad internet, Charles.
His hamsters, he hasn't fed his hamsters in several weeks, and they're just in a tired state of malaise. And they just can't get that wheel going at his house.
I was gonna say, because I went on the other day, I had a walrus man with like a weird marking, and I ended up finding that it was a PBP, but it only took me like 30 seconds to figure it out because the information was right there. So I don't know what Charles is talking about, hamsters and a wheel and internet not working. I think it's just Charles's house.
And you know what? I went over there just last week and I found all the info I wanted on all the different versions of the Painted Legs Maydeen. And I know I sent you guys the photo so that you guys could get, schooled up on that figure. But that's the next one coming down the pike.
So what it sounds like is you guys are getting $9.99 a month to promote this website, and I'm obviously not in the email chain.
Yeah, you're not part of the inside track, but really though, it's a work in progress. I think that there's some funky stuff going on with the website, just kind of knowing a little bit of background of web design and stuff. But it's a project; it's not somebody's livelihood. But I do.
I was going to
appreciate the
say,
work they
actually,
put in.
when you think about it, the person who's doing it is probably doing it for free. He's
Yeah.
doing his own free work, his own free time. So no one's going to be on it maintaining 24/7 if they're not getting paid and it's completely free. So we're just happy that it's even out there just to begin with.
I'm gonna go ahead and
do it now.
Well, thanks everyone for watching another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. It was glad to catch up with you guys again for another week. And for you subscribers out there, thanks for joining us again. If you're new to the podcast, please like and subscribe. And you can find us also on Rogue 5 Toys. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.